So how do we go from this to this?
Some of you might have started here at Cape Court. We have Junction Plaza families that are still training with us, and we still have some people that started with us from the hotel that are still coming into this karate school to this day. I'm excited to take you on this journey. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's go. Yes, I can. All right, to the hotel. So when I first decided that I want to come to Ashburn, I drove up here and scouted around and looked around, and every shopping center already had a martial arts school. I knew that I definitely wanted to be in a shopping center that was anchored by a Giant or a grocery store or a Starbucks or something that already had foot traffic. But every center already had a martial arts school. But there were two shopping centers that the martial arts school that was in them, they were either closing or had closed, and so it was just kind of a matter of time before they became available. I needed a temporary location. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to get started, and so needed a temporary location, and I thought, where could I go? Like, what could I rent? Where can I put people? And I thought, a hotel! A hotel will work. And so rented the ballrooms. Another thought, when I came up here, I recognized and noticed that every single martial arts school that was up here, they all focused on after-school karate and summer camps. And I thought, well, I definitely don't want to do that. I just want to teach martial arts. And so I was pretty excited at the prospect that I knew how to run the business in a way of just making martial arts classes work to stay open and be open and do a good job. So nothing against the after-school karate schools and summer camps. I just did not want to do that. And so I was excited that I felt like I would be different. I felt like Super Kicks would be different than every other school. It's because we are. All right, here we are. So when I moved here, Starbucks wasn't here. The Kiddie Academy wasn't here. It was just Garden Hilton Inn and the A-Loft and the gas station. And we'll be talking about the gas station in just a little bit. But this is where I started. This is where Super Kicks started. So I remember I called the guy or called the hotel and said, hey, I am starting a martial arts school here and I need to get a ballroom. And he said, you need a ballroom? I need a ballroom to teach karate. And he said, how are you gonna market? How are you gonna bring people into your new karate school? And I said, you don't worry about that. Just rent me the place and I'll do the rest of the work. If you've ever gotten a good job note from us or a card in the mail, that's because since I was 15 years old, my instructor taught me the importance of sending cards and mail and everything. And so when I was here in this hotel, I did at end of every night teaching classes, I would sit down, order dinner, and write my cards. I remember coming through, making this video, I was like, ooh, my good job note counter. And I would write my good job notes from here. Let me show you the original ballroom. And this is the original hotel. This is the ballroom. When I first got to Ashburn, I rented the ballroom, and it wasn't this great big room. It started here, like this little wall was all the way across, and so it was just this little room that you see here. I taught from up in the front, and all of my wonderful students were there in the back. It was so exciting. And we were here for only a couple of weeks. I'll tell you why in just a moment, but like think through what a karate school looks like. You walk in, and what do you have in a karate school? A big open floor, a bunch of nothing space so that people can train, but there are some things that help tell the story. The belts on the wall and the citizenship sheet and the t-shirts and the uniforms and the things that make it look like a karate school. So every single day I had to turn this little room into a karate school. So I would put tape on the floor so that the students could stand at attention and face the front. I had tables that were set up so we had belts lined up so I could tell the story about you starting in a white belt and going all the way to earning your black belt. I had uniforms out. I had some of my old original plaques and trophies so I could tell the story. Like, it was kind of weird. It's not lost on me, the idea that this guy is inviting people to come into a hotel and train. So I really needed to create a backstory, because I had one, of who I was and what I've done and why I'm here and why I'm in a hotel. And so I had to create that every single day in the hotel, in this little room, so that way people would believe enough in me that they would be willing to train, and I'm really grateful for the families that did because it turned into what we have now. They did shuffle us around once. We went to a different area for a couple of days because they needed this room for something, and they put us in a little tight room, and no big deal. And then they moved us back, and when they moved us back, we had pretty much, I think, the entire space. But then calamity struck, and we couldn't be here anymore. The Redskins came back into town. And so what happened was the Redskins, they were training, and they needed a hotel that would serve them food. I don't really know why, but that they chose this place, but whatever. So they had to have the ballroom for the food for all of the Redskins. I'm not even sure I can say Redskins. They were the Redskins back then. What are they now? The Nationals? The team. Sorry, the team. It was the Redskins then. Please don't cancel me. So I had to move. I had to leave, and I couldn't use the ballroom anymore. And so I went to the manager. And I was like, "Hey, manager guy, now what?"